This video is going to focus on the most important step in your F1 visa journey, picking the right university. In this video, I'm going to give you the 3 exact steps which you can follow to find the best university for visa approval. And also, I'm going to tell you about an exclusive free workshop in which I can help you pick the university. All of this is coming your way. Keep on watching. Hi guys, my name is Shachi and I'm a USA visa coach. Over the last 4 years, I've worked with thousands of students, helping them get their visa approved, many of them with a prior rejection. Do check the links in the description box for details of how you can work one-to-one with me. We also have an exclusive playlist for fall 2025, and this is a collection of useful videos and free resources which is going to help you in the journey. So once you're done watching the video, do check out all of these resources. All the good stuff is right below in the description box. So let's start by understanding why university selection is so important. Well, simply put, university is the first impression that the visa officer is going to get about you. And with the Trump administration coming in, the narrative of US visas is very clear. They want the best. They want the most genuine, the brightest, the best students to enter the US. And for a visa officer, the easiest way to filter students is by looking at the university. Because your university selection tells a lot. It tells about your undergrad scores, your work experience, your test scores, and most importantly, it tells how much time and money you're willing to invest in the US. So given that the visa interviews are so short, just looking at the university is a really quick way for the visa officer to assess your approval chances. In fact, over the last 4 years, I've seen many instances where students have got refused without even a single question being asked. And in most of these cases, the university was subpar. It was either blacklisted or it was a really low ranked university. So the officer did not consider it worth his time to ask questions. So, keeping this in mind, your university selection is a huge factor. And in fact, it's not just about getting a good education in the US, it's a really important strategic decision you need to make to ensure your visa approval. So next part of the video, I'm going to tell you the 3-step process which you can follow to pick the right university. But before we start that, get your pen and paper out and make a list. So list down all the universities that you've applied to in the US and then list all the admits that you've got so far. So I hope you have your list ready, and let's start with step number 1. Step number 1 is elimination. You're going to start by eliminating or removing those admits which are not good for visa approval. I'm going to give you a set of 5 criteria, and if your university or admit falls into any one of these 5 criteria, you need to eliminate it and remove it from your list. Criteria number 1 is the ranking of the university. If your university is low ranked, that means if the national ranking of the university is about 300, then it's highly risky for visa approval and it's best to eliminate it. If your university does not have a national ranking, look at the regional ranking. And if the regional ranking is about 25, then again, it's going to be risky for visa approval. The best way to check ranking of a university is go to US News. So if you go to US News, type in university, it will either show you the national ranking, and if the university is not nationally ranked, it will show you the regional ranking. So use the cutoff 300 for national ranking and 25 for regional ranking, and anything above this is really risky for visa approval and you need to remove it from your list. Criteria number 2 is hybrid programs. Now, hybrid programs are a program which allows you to start the course in your home country or in India, complete some credits, and then go to the US to complete the rest of the course. I know that off late these programs have become really popular and they're being marketed as a win-win because they allow you to start the program early and also reduce the cost of your stay and cost of your living in the US. But the fact is that hybrid programs have really low visa approval. Just because you've completed some courses online, the visa officer is not going to give you any advantage for it. And the fact that you could do the course online reduces the whole point of going to the US. So if any of your admits have a hybrid program, I would say stay away from it. And if you've already started a hybrid program, then I would say prepare your profile and your answers in such a way that the hybrid program is not very obvious and you just present it as a regular master's. This is a little bit more complex topic than just this much. So if you do have a hybrid program, I would say do reach out for a one-to-one prep and a detailed discussion, and check the link in the description box for this. Criteria number 3, pathway programs. Now, pathway programs are like a bridge. The university gives you the admission, but they don't give you admit into the direct masters. They want you to complete certain prerequisites, come to US, do certain courses first, and then start the masters. And in the I-20, it is clearly indicated that you have got admit into a pathway program and not the direct master. And this is not a very positive aspect for the visa interview because the visa officer will know that you're not fulfilling certain requirements and there are certain shortcomings in your profile. So as far as possible, try to avoid pathway programs. And if your university has given you a pathway, discuss with them and ask them what you could do right away to remove the pathway. Many of the cases, it's because the scores are below a certain level. So let's say that they gave you a pathway program because your IELTS score was less than 6.5. So you could discuss with them and ask them whether you could retake the score and submit it so that they give you admission into the direct masters rather than the pathway. Criteria number 4, community colleges. Now, typical community college will offer a limited course. It will have less resources, less infrastructure. The faculty will also be limited. And overall, it means that your entire exposure and the learning in the US is going to be lower compared to university. So, for a visa officer, it's really difficult to understand why you would go all the way to the US, spend all this time, money, and energy to study in a community college, which is why the visa approval for community college is typically lower than that of a university. So if any of your admits has a community college, I would say try to avoid it. Though there are instances where students do get approval for community college, but the overall approval rate is much, much lower than a university. So as far as possible, I would say avoid the community college. And if you do have to go for a community college, then within that, try to pick the best ones, which have a good location, which do offer almost the same benefits as university, and which also have good transfer tie-ups to universities in the US. Criteria number 5 is blacklisted universities. There are some universities which are blacklisted. They have zero visa approval rate. We have compiled a list of such universities. So you will find the list in the description box. And if your university falls into this list, make sure to eliminate it. So these are our 5 criteria: low ranked university, hybrid program, pathway program, community colleges, and blacklisted university. I hope these 5 criteria have helped you do some amount of filtering. And if you're still here, still watching the video, do give it a thumbs up and comment below your admits. So put down the list of all the admits that you have for the fall 2025 intake and let me know. I'm really curious to know what admits you have got. And this will also help you connect with other students who might have similar admits. So do comment below and let's chat more there. Now let's move to step number 2, and step number 2 is selection. So out of the admits that we have, we're going to select the one which is best for visa approval. Now here again, I'm going to give you 5 criteria, and your objective is to see how many criteria your admit fulfills. The more number of criteria your admit fulfills, the better it is for visa approval. For example, let's say that you have 2 admit A and B. If A fulfills 4 criteria, whereas B fulfills 3 criteria, most likely A is going to be better for visa approval. So let's dive into this, and I'm also going to explain this to you with some real life examples so that it becomes more clear to you. Criteria number 1 is ranking. A higher ranked university usually has better reputation and better visa approval rate. Criteria number 2, scholarship. If the university has given you a scholarship, it definitely adds some brownie points because it shows your merit as a student. If the university gave you a scholarship, most likely you have good grades, good profile, good experience, and that also gives the confidence to the visa officer. Criteria number 3, uniqueness of the program. How is the program that you're going for different or unique compared to the other program? Are there any extra electives, certification, or any unique research opportunities? Criteria number 4, profile fit with the university. Does your profile fit in with the university culture and what the university has to offer? This is a very subtle factor and it's often overlooked, but it's highly important. To explain this profile fit, let me take an example. Let's say that you're a working professional and you have about 10 years of experience and you have 2 admits. One admit specifically caters to people who come with experience and the class composition is very similar. And the second admit is a mix. It's a mix of freshers and people with experience. Most likely, your profile is a better fit for the first admit because you will be in a similar pool of students. This is exactly what I mean by profile fit. So when you look at the admit, do a check, do a profile fit, whether your profile is fitting into the university culture and what the university has to offer. And criteria number 5. Criteria number 5 is personal reasons. Do you have any personal reasons for choosing the university? It could be the location, it could be the people you know there, it could be somebody that you know who studied there and who you really admire. Personal reasons are also an important factor for choosing the university, and they'll also help you to justify the university selection in the visa interview. So here are your 5 criteria. Pull out the same piece of paper where you had written the admits, and now rank those admits and see how many of the criteria they are fulfilling. Most likely, the admit which has fulfilled the more number of criteria would be a better fit for you and would be also better for your visa approval.
So I'm going to show you an example of how we do a university selection. And this is actually one of our students who is part of a 7-day program. So first student is a master's student. So as of now, he has 5 admits with him: University of Arizona, RIT, Lehigh, Georgia State, and Stevens. And here's a quick analysis of all the criteria. So I have listed the names of the universities here and the course. He is going for data science in 4 of the universities and machine learning in Stevens. And here we first listed our criteria, that's ranking, scholarship, unique factor about the course, profile fit, and any personal reasons that he has. And here's a quick assessment that you can see. So, ranking, most of these are good ranked universities, but University of Arizona, Lea, and Stevens are the top ranked. Then scholarship, so he got scholarship only from two places, from University of Arizona and Stevens, so that's a yes. Unique factor, the course was unique in two of the universities, in University of Arizona because it's a mix of tech and management, and in Lea. And profile fit, so again the profile fit matched with two of the universities because his profile was somebody with 10 years of experience. So he was looking for a university where the people, the batchmates, would also have a similar years of experience rather than being in a university which had more of a mixed profile. And personal reasons, for him personal reasons were knowing somebody there and the location. So if you look at this analysis, you'll see that a lot of factors are yes for University of Arizona, even though it is not the top rank, but all the other factors which for him are more important are working out for University of Arizona. So for him, most likely he'll be going with this university as his top preference, and he's going to go ahead, get the I-20 and appear for the visa interview. Similarly, we have an example for a bachelor's program. So this student has 4 admits: Long Beach, NJIT, George Washington, and UTD. And the course is Bachelor's of Business Administration in most of the universities. Only in UTD, it's accounting. Again, we did a very similar analysis of ranking, scholarship, course, profile fit, and reasons. So, ranking again are similar. Only George Washington has like a slightly better ranking than three of his admits, and the rest of the factors were kind of pulled in for the others. Now, here the interesting thing to note is that even though George Washington is the best ranked, the other universities score in other factors. Like, for example, UTD gave him a scholarship, the business school is much better in UTD, and the profile fit. UTD has equal focus on, tech and management, whereas George Washington was a more tech focused university. So, even though ranking wise George Washington seems higher, but this student will most likely select UTD as the option to go ahead with because of all the other reasons that will help him in justifying it in the visa interview. So this is an example of how you can analyze your universities, rank them as per the criteria that you have, and then this will give you a very clear visual picture as to which university you can go ahead with. And the interesting thing is, once you have these factors here, it will also help you frame the answer for why this university, because you'll be able to tell the officer exactly why you picked this compared to the other universities or the other admits that you had. So do the same for yourself, do this analysis, and if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comment section below.
Now we move to step number 3, and step number 3 is to validate. Now that you've made the university selection, you need to validate and ensure that it's the right choice. And we have two ways in which you can do that. First is a tool that we have developed. This is called the University Selector tool. It's an absolutely free tool, and you just need to input your admit details, university details, and this will analyze and give you the approval chances. When you use this tool, keep in mind that it's still in the beta or in the development stage, so there might be few glitches here and there. So do have a little bit of patience when you use this tool, and if you find any error, feel free to DM me. You can reach me on Instagram. Instagram handle is shachi.mall. Feel free to let me know your suggestions, your feedback about the tool. And when you use the tool, you're going to get a score. If the score is below 50%, this is an indication that probably you should not go ahead with this admit and think of other choices. The second way in which you can validate your university selection is through the free workshop. This was a workshop I was telling you about earlier. Now we are hosting this workshop where you can come in, tell us about your admits, and we can help you choose the one which is best for the visa approval. We plan to conduct these workshops regularly. You will find the link for signing up in the description box below. This is where the next workshop, you will get details of the next workshop. So make sure that you sign up and I'll be able to see you there. So these are the 3 steps: eliminate, select, and validate. And I hope that this has given clarity on which admit to go for the visa interview. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. You could also DM me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is @shachi.mall, and we can chat more there. And at this point of time, I also want to tell you about our flagship program for the fall 2025. It's called the 7-day program. And this is the most comprehensive, stress-free way to prepare for your visa interview because we take care of everything, right from understanding your profile, filling your DS-160 form, framing answers, and multiple mocks. You will be prepared thoroughly. Over the last 4 years, I've worked with students very closely for the 7-day program, and I've seen them benefit greatly from it. In fact, if you plan to start the 7-day, I would recommend starting early because it's not 7 days, it's 7 sessions. So if you start early, we have enough time and enough flexibility to plan your sessions well so that you can get maximum benefit from it. Next up, do watch this video, and this video is the complete guide to your fall 2025 timeline. It includes all the steps and everything that you need to do over the next 4 to 5 months. As part of this video, we also have a free guidebook, and I've seen that hundreds of you have already downloaded the guidebook. That's really good to know. So if you haven't watched this video yet, do give it a watch and make sure that you download your free workbook for fall 2025.